and the futures contract is standardized. Okay. Point three, forward contract usually one specific delivery date. Okay, again, it's in the OTC market. And then range of delivery date for the futures. And remember, these are also standardized. Okay. For instance, the nearly 2 months. If we standing at today, it would be April, May, okay, and then you have June, and then September, December. And then point four, settled at the end of the contract. This is what we call for delivery, right? And then settled daily because you have a margin account. Right? And then point five, deliver or final settlement as usual. And then usually close out because it's traded in the OTC. There is no regulator. Okay? And then futures contract trading in the exchange, virtually no credit risk or no default risk. Because that there's regulations, right? For instance, like in Taiwan, we have futures trading law, right? Okay, and you have a government organization to look after this as well. For instance, you have futures exchange, and so on. Okay. So that's the comparison for the two contracts, right? That's okay, I'll continue. Yeah. Okay, now, for the foreign exchange rate quotations in the futures market, it really depends on the contracts, okay? So you can see that foreign exchange quotation, you must have the relative, that's the exchange rate, right? Between two currencies, okay? So for instance, yen to dollar, okay? So this is a numerical quotation. If you see the sign like that, that means 1 yen in exchange for how many USD, okay? Okay, so see the first point. Futures exchange rates are quoted as the number of USD units per unit of foreign currency. So what does it mean? If your home currency, because we have a US textbook, right? So in this textbook, the assumption is the home currency is the USD, okay? And then if you have a quotation, you see here, USD per unit of foreign currency, so that means equals to 1 unit of foreign equals to how many unit of USD? Okay, your quotation will be E foreign to USD. Okay, the denominator equals to 1. Are we okay with that? Exchange for how many USD? Okay, if your home country is USD, this is what we call direct quotation. 这个叫直接报价法。可以吗 Okay, so 1 unit of exchange rate, 1 unit of foreign currency in exchange for how many unit of home currency. This quotation is what we call direct quotation. Okay, if it is the opposite, like your home currency is USD and you are using 1 USD in exchange for how many unit of foreign currency, this is what we call indirect quotation. You guys follow me? Yeah? Okay. So, point 2, forward exchange rate are quoted in the same way as the spot exchange rate. That means that's in the US custom. Okay, so different capital market might be varies. Okay, so this means that British pounds, euros, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar are USD per unit of foreign currency. Okay. So this means that if your home country is USD, okay, for British pound, euro, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, they are direct quotation. Okay, because you are doing 1 pound in exchange for how many USD? You guys? Okay, 1 euro in exchange for how many USD and so on. Okay, other currencies like CAD is the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen are quoted as units of foreign currency per USD. Okay, so this would be 1 yen, 1 USD in exchange for how many yen? Okay, or 1 CAD in exchange for 1 USD in exchange for how many CAD? So that's the indirect quotation, okay? So 1 USD in exchange for how many Canadian dollar, okay? Assuming our home is USD, okay? So for this quotation is what we call 间接报价, indirect quotation. Okay. So this, if you take, did you guys take a course on international financial management? Yeah, international financial management, that you have to remember this, okay? The direct quotation is 1 unit of foreign in exchange for how many unit of home. And then the reverse way, 1 unit of home in exchange for how many unit of foreign quotation is the indirect quotation, all right? But it depends on markets, okay? Because different capital market for their foreign exchange derivatives, okay, may have different quotation system. Okay, you just refer to the contract specification, then you can understand. Right? Okay, so we're gonna go into the trading strategies. Trading strategies, when you draw the diagrams, remember you have the 2 lines now, okay? So when I mentioned about using these futures or forwards to hedge, then you remember that means you have a 2 position, right? First of all, spot position, right? Secondly, your futures or forward position. Very important. Okay, so basically when you draw the diagrams, in the same diagram, you should have a 2 line. Remember, first of all, you have to identify your risk in the spot, right? Agree? Secondly, you identify how you construct your hedging position by using futures. Okay? So now I'm gonna show you, because hedging position have 2 classical terminologies. One is long hedge, one is short hedge. Okay? So we're gonna show you the differences between these 2 diagrams. First of all, if in the spot position, you have a long position, what does it mean? This is a long spot, 这是现货哦 long spot, okay? If I tell you there are 2 parties, okay? One is the bakery. Okay? The other is wheat farmer. So if I have a bakery, I bake the breads, right? So wheat will become the flour, okay? So it's my ingredient, right? Agreed? So if I'm the bakery owner, what do you want to hedge? You want to hedge for the wheat price going up, right? Because when the wheat price goes up, your price risk is higher, right? And then, second one is the one who has a short position in the spot. Okay, now look at diagram 1 and 2. Bakery is the one who doesn't have wheat, right? And wants to buy the wheat in the future, agree? Wheat farmers, are the one who has a spot, which is the wheat in the future. Okay, so which one is number one? Which one is number two? Who has a spot? The farmer, right? So this guy is one, this guy is two. Agree? If you are the wheat farmer, when the price of the wheat go up, you earn money, right? And your risk is here. When the wheat price goes down, right? That's your risk. Agree? You guys follow me? Yeah? Okay. Now, number two is the bakery owner. Right? So bakery owner's risk is, right? Okay. So bakery's risk is when the price goes up. You guys follow me so far? Okay. Now, you identify your risk in the spot position, right? But our purposes is to use futures or forward to construct your hedging position. So let's take a look. If you are at the top, you are the wheat farmers. How can you hedge? You go on to short futures. Agree? Right? So you can compensate your risk. You go on to short futures. You guys follow me? Okay. So if you are the wheat farmer standing there today, you go on to short the futures. So in the future, you are able to use the exercise price to sell the wheat. You guys follow me? Yeah? Okay. So basically, if today, please write this down, okay? You are the long position in the spot, and then you go on to use the short position in futures to hedge. That's your hedging position, all right? This strategy is what we call short hedge. This is a professional terminology you have to remember, all right? Now, for the bakeries, currently you don't have the position, but you are expecting that in the future you will buy, right? So therefore, you go on to long futures to hedge. That's the hedging position for the bakery. Okay, so if you go on to long futures to hedge, this terminology is what we call long hedge. So far so good? Yeah? Okay, before we go away, short hedge, you are expecting you're going to sell spot in the future. Okay, like if you are a wheat farmer and then you'll be harvest in October, you are expecting October you're gonna sell, right? Yeah? Okay. So long hedge, you are expecting you will purchase spot in the future. Okay, remember the